Have you ever felt that despite all your efforts, something still isn't quite right when it comes to intimacy? What if the secret to truly satisfying your partner lies in mastering the right techniques, not just in the physical actions, but in the way you connect and understand her needs? In today's video, we're revealing 5 essential tips that can transform your intimate moments, ensuring that your partner reaches a level of pleasure and comfort that both of you deserve. These tips are designed to help you build a deeper, more meaningful connection through careful, attentive steps. By the end, you'll not only understand how to enhance pleasure but also how to make each experience more fulfilling and intimate. Stay tuned until the end, because each tip builds on the previous one. And trust me, you won't want to miss the final step that could completely change how you approach intimacy. Whether you're looking to rekindle your relationship or simply want to understand your partner's needs better, this video is packed with valuable insights. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. The first tip is preparation and initial stimulation. This phase is not simply a physical act. It is the foundation of an experience that transcends mere physicality. It's about creating an atmosphere that nurtures both emotional and physical connection, one where both partners can truly feel safe, valued, and cherished. The environment plays a crucial role in setting the stage for a profound, intimate experience. Imagine soft, warm lighting that bathes the room in a gentle glow, evoking a sense of warmth and safety. This serene setting invites relaxation, making each moment feel as though time slows down. The sound of calm, soothing background music fills the air, its tender melodies creating a peaceful rhythm that enhances the sense of closeness. The subtle scent of scented candles or incense may gently waft through the room, adding another layer to this sensory experience. Scents like lavender or sandalwood help ease tension, invite relaxation, and subtly open the heart and mind to the deeper emotional connection that intimacy brings. In this sacred moment, preparation and initial stimulation are about more than just physical contact. They're about cultivating a space where emotional and sensory connections intertwine. Every touch, every whisper of breath, every movement becomes part of a ritual of care and deep affection. The journey begins with tender, loving kisses on the external lips of the vulva. These kisses should not be rushed but rather gently placed, with reverence, as though you are discovering something sacred. The rhythm here is slow, deliberate, and incredibly attentive. As your lips and tongue begin their journey, it's not just about pleasing the body. It's about attuning yourself to the subtle messages her body is giving. Your tongue, moving softly in light, circular motions, explores the area with care. There is no rush here, no desire to jump to the next stage of pleasure. Instead, the goal is to savor the moment, allowing the experience to unfold naturally, without haste. These tender movements, though light and delicate, help to stimulate blood flow, gradually awakening the senses. As the body's sensitivity increases, it becomes a gentle invitation for more intense stimulation, though patience is still key. This initial phase is incredibly intimate, not just because of the physical touch, but because it creates an emotional space for both partners to connect in ways that transcend words. Your touch is not simply mechanical but carries an emotional resonance that strengthens the bond between you. You are attuned to her body's responses, learning what brings her joy, comfort, and pleasure. As you continue, it is vital to stay deeply engaged and observant, paying attention to the smallest shifts in her responses. These delicate changes in her breathing pattern, the subtle rise and fall of her chest, the quiet moans or sighs that escape her lips, and the way her hips gently move in response. These are the precious signals she gives you. They are her way of communicating her enjoyment, telling you when she is ready for more, when you can intensify the pressure or change the rhythm of your touch. Yet, even as you progress, it is important to remember that there is no rush. The art of intimacy lies in the journey, not the destination. Every movement should be measured and thoughtful. Gradually, as you increase the pressure of your tongue and vary the pace of your movements, continue to check in with her. Every step should feel like a gift, an offering that builds on the last, deepening the connection and pleasure. It's about creating a solid foundation of arousal, one that flows naturally and without force, one that feels as though you're both moving in harmony, tuning into each other's desires and needs. Each movement, each shift, should feel organic, a conversation of touch that nurtures her body, soul, and spirit. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. The first step of preparation is not just about physical pleasure, it is about emotional intimacy, creating a space where both partners feel fully seen, heard, and loved. By giving this stage the time and attention it deserves, you foster a deeper, more meaningful connection. You are not simply setting the stage for physical satisfaction. You are cultivating trust, tenderness, and emotional closeness that will enhance the entire experience. For those who wish to deepen their emotional and physical connection later in life, the journey toward rediscovering intimacy doesn't have to feel daunting. That's why I recommend the book EVOC, Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60. This invaluable resource offers practical, inspiring advice for couples who seek to strengthen their relationship and embrace the challenges that come with aging. It provides insightful solutions for reigniting passion, restoring emotional intimacy, and overcoming physical challenges to keep love and desire alive. It reminds us that intimacy can flourish at any stage of life, and that true connection is a beautiful, ever-evolving journey. One that is just as fulfilling, if not more, as it was in the past. The second tip is to focus on the clitoris. This small but mighty organ, often described as the epicenter of a woman's pleasure, holds the power to unlock unparalleled sensations when treated with respect and care. It is undeniably one of the most erogenous zones, and its sensitivity means that when it is properly stimulated, it can lead to intense, mind-altering orgasms that send waves of pleasure through her entire being. To truly maximize her pleasure and reach the pinnacle of intimacy, it's crucial to approach this delicate area with tenderness, patience, and a profound understanding of her body's unique responses. Begin the journey of clitoral stimulation gently, thoughtfully, and with great care. The key is to start with indirect, teasing movements that prepare her for the ultimate pleasure. Allow your tongue to lightly caress the area around the clitoris, exploring the surrounding skin with slow, deliberate strokes. Start at the inner lips of the vulva, where the skin is softer and more sensitive, and move outward in a slow, rhythmic motion. This creates a pleasurable buildup that allows her body to gradually awaken, feeling the anticipation grow with every touch. The goal here is not to rush but to enhance the slow, almost deliberate tension between you, carefully coaxing her into a state of heightened arousal. This slow buildup is not just about physical stimulation. It is about creating a deeper emotional connection, one where she can feel the care and attention you're giving her. As you sense her arousal growing, her breathing becoming deeper and more labored, you can begin to approach the clitoris itself. When the moment feels right, gently touch the clitoris with your tongue, using soft, rhythmic strokes. The key here is to ensure that your movements are both intentional and gentle, focusing on the subtle sensations that she enjoys. Use the tip of your tongue to explore different speeds and pressures, paying close attention to her responses. You can experiment with circular motions, moving in smooth, flowing circles, or switch things up with vertical or horizontal strokes, finding the rhythm and pressure that ignites her most pleasurable sensations. Another technique that can be particularly pleasurable is tracing a figure-8 pattern over the clitoris, which creates a sensation of fluidity and variety, keeping the experience fresh and exciting. The secret to providing maximum pleasure lies in this variety, ensuring that the stimulation remains dynamic and never predictable. It is essential to remain attentive to her body's feedback, whether it's through changes in her breath, soft moans of pleasure, or subtle shifts in her body as she adjusts to the intensity. These signals are her way of communicating with you, and they will guide you toward what feels best for her. Each moment of heightened pleasure is an invitation to dig deeper into your understanding of her body's needs, adjusting your technique with precision and care. The clitoris is an intensely sensitive area, and its responsiveness demands your full attention. When you begin to notice changes in her breathing pattern, shorter, deeper breaths, or the gentle rise and fall of her hips as she moves closer to release, it's your signal to continue or intensify the touch. But equally, if she shows signs of discomfort, perhaps a slight tension or a change in rhythm, you must adjust immediately, ensuring that each moment of stimulation continues to build toward a pleasurable experience. The way her body reacts will let you know whether you need to ease off or increase the pressure. You'll learn the nuances of her responses with every passing second, slowly becoming attuned to what she craves. One of the most beautiful things about clitoral stimulation is its fluidity. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. What feels incredible in one moment might not have the same effect in another, and that's where flexibility comes in. As the stimulation intensifies and her arousal deepens, you'll want to adjust your technique to match the pace of her rising desire. Whether it's varying the speed of your tongue, changing the angle, or switching between soft and firmer pressure, this flexibility will help maintain the pleasurable rhythm that is driving both of you toward the climax. The experience should never feel rushed or mechanical. It's about maintaining a steady, flowing rhythm that mirrors her body's movements, ebbing and flowing with her needs. The clitoris is incredibly sensitive, and it requires a delicate balance between consistent, rhythmic stimulation and moments of light, teasing pauses that allow her to build toward climax without overwhelming her too quickly. Sudden movements, harsh pressure, or unexpected changes can disrupt the flow and hinder the buildup of pleasure. Instead, aim for smooth transitions between techniques, slowly intensifying the stimulation as her arousal heightens. This gradual escalation is essential for building lasting pleasure and eventual release. The beauty of this journey lies in the connection, the shared experience of exploring one another's bodies and responding to subtle cues with deep attentiveness. Your role in this process is not just as a giver but as a listener of her body, adjusting to her every shift, her every breath, and the whispers of her pleasure. Every sigh, every movement, every moan is a form of communication, guiding you toward an intimate, shared moment of satisfaction. Clitoral stimulation, when done with care, is an art, a dance between two people that transcends mere physicality. It is an act of emotional intimacy, of slow, tender exploration that can lead to not just physical release but emotional closeness. By being in tune with her needs, her body, and her emotions, you create an experience that is enriching and fulfilling, a moment that goes beyond the act of pleasure and into the realm of profound connection. This approach will not only enhance her pleasure but will create a bond between you that deepens with every touch. The careful, respectful approach you take to her clitoris will make all the difference in turning a simple moment into an extraordinary one, elevating the experience to something truly unforgettable. The third tip is variety and alternation. These elements are not just about physical stimulation. They are about creating an emotional and sensory connection that evolves, making each moment feel intimate and electrifying. To prevent the experience from becoming predictable and the passion from fading, it's vital to keep things dynamic. Repetition of the same movements can quickly lead to monotony or, even worse, a sense of emotional detachment. The beauty of variety lies in its ability to continually reignite the spark, to transform each encounter into an exciting journey of discovery, anticipation, and connection. By constantly alternating techniques, the energy shifts with each touch, creating a rhythm that mirrors the deepening of your bond. A well-timed change of pace or technique can open the door to new sensations and layers of pleasure that neither of you might have anticipated. The goal is to keep the excitement alive and to ensure that neither of you falls into a pattern that diminishes the experience. Start by exploring an array of different touches and tongue movements, each one designed to elicit a different response. Begin with the gentle circular motions that glide over her skin, slow and deliberate, warming her senses. Then, switch to vertical strokes, long and teasing, which stretch across her body in a slow, purposeful rhythm. Horizontal movements can provide a tender sensation of fullness, sweeping across her most sensitive areas with precision. Experiment with more intricate patterns, like figure-8 movements, that pulse in and out, creating a flowing rhythm that feels like a dance of sensation, ebbing and flowing with delightful unpredictability. Each variation is like a new song, each note resonating differently, but always designed to elicit pleasure. The key is not just to keep changing, but to remain attuned to her body's responses, noticing when she arches closer, when she tenses in pleasure, when she sighs with satisfaction. Every woman is beautifully unique, and these variations allow you to explore and understand the subtle intricacies of her pleasure. It's about discovering her body as a beautiful map, every curve, every reaction leading you closer to what brings her the most joy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But variety goes beyond just the type of movement. It extends to the intensity and rhythm of your actions. It's about creating a melody of sensation, one that moves from light to deep, fast to slow, teasing and intense. You can start with lighter, quicker touches, swift flicks of your tongue or soft brushes of your lips that barely graze her skin, designed to awaken her senses without overwhelming her. These initial touches build excitement and a sense of anticipation. Then, when the time feels right, slow the tempo, allowing your movements to deepen in intensity, pressing more firmly, giving her a full, absorbing sensation that vibrates through her. By alternating between these rhythms, you create a thrilling push and pull, a tension that keeps her on the edge, wanting more. It's the contrast between light and heavy, fast and slow, that amplifies the sense of arousal, making each shift feel more intense and immersive. Another powerful technique to incorporate is the element of surprise through strategic pauses. Don't be afraid to occasionally stop and let the silence speak volumes. Gently pause your movements, pulling back just slightly. Then, during these moments of stillness, lean in to offer soft kisses, light and tender, that soothe and excite in equal measure. Alternatively, breathe softly over her skin, the warmth of your exhale creating a tantalizing contrast to the stillness, sending waves of sensation through her. These brief pauses are not interruptions but opportunities to build and stretch out the desire, to heighten the tension before the next wave of stimulation. The timing of these pauses is crucial. They should be just long enough to make her yearn for more, but not so long as to break the rhythm you've worked so hard to build. When executed with perfect timing, these pauses create an atmosphere of suspense, turning each movement into a crescendo of sensations that leave her breathless with anticipation. Incorporating manual stimulation alongside oral techniques can elevate the entire experience to a whole new level. While your tongue dances across her most sensitive areas, your hands can explore other parts of her body, sending ripples of pleasure through her entire being. Gently caress her inner thighs, tracing patterns across the soft skin, or tease the base of her clitoris, heightening the sensation of your tongue's movements. Your hands can also glide over her breasts, gently kneading and massaging, providing a deeper connection that spreads throughout her body. This multifaceted approach ensures that no part of her is overlooked, and that each erogenous zone receives the attention it craves. The result is a more holistic experience that doesn't just focus on one area but involves her entire body in a symphony of pleasure. The key here is attentiveness, taking the time to explore, to be present in the moment, and to listen to her body. When you approach intimacy with this level of awareness, you're not just giving her pleasure, you're honoring her. You're creating a space where every touch, every movement, every moment is a reflection of the deep connection and trust between you. It's about more than just physical satisfaction. It's about crafting an experience that nurtures emotional closeness and deepens your bond. This attention to detail and variation ensures that the experience is not only pleasurable but meaningful. Every shift, every change in rhythm, every thoughtful pause builds toward an experience that is immersive and fulfilling, a celebration of your connection. With each intimate act, you're creating a moment that is not only physically satisfying but emotionally enriching, turning each interaction into a loving, shared experience that lingers in your hearts long after it's over. This is the power of variety and alternation. Not just keeping the excitement alive, but ensuring that every moment is a reflection of the depth, love, and trust that exists between you. The fourth tip is complete stimulation and exploration. At the heart of this step is the notion of exploring her entire body, not just focusing on the obvious areas like the clitoris or vulva. While these areas are undeniably sensitive and essential, true satisfaction lies in expanding the experience to encompass every inch of her skin, awakening pleasure in places she might never have considered. The ultimate goal is to transform the encounter into a sensory journey, one that doesn't merely target specific regions, but instead creates an expansive, deeply immersive experience that resonates through every fiber of her being. By doing so, you're not just focusing on isolated sensations. You're building an entire world of connection, one touch at a time, allowing her to experience arousal that moves like a gentle wave throughout her body. Begin this exploration with a keen focus on erogenous zones that are often overlooked yet are capable of stirring an intense emotional and physical response. The neck, for instance, is a particularly sensitive area. Its soft, vulnerable skin is often a place where lingering kisses or a gentle breath can ignite a spark. As you move your lips and tongue along the graceful curve of her neck, take note of the way her body responds. Does she arch her back slightly? Does her breath catch in her throat? Every reaction is a signpost guiding you deeper into the labyrinth of her desires. Similarly, the shoulders, often thought of as simply the burden bearers of the body, can also be incredibly responsive to soft, affectionate touches. A tender stroke of the fingertips, a light kiss at the nape of her neck, a gentle tug at her hair, each of these actions can send shivers down her spine, drawing her into the moment. As your exploration deepens, move to the inner thighs, an area that, when touched with care, can be the gateway to overwhelming pleasure. Often shrouded in anticipation, this part of the body holds immense potential to heighten arousal. The delicate skin, sensitive to the subtlest touch, is a map waiting for you to read it. Gently caress, kiss, and trace the inner thigh with your fingertips. Take your time and notice the way her body shifts, and how her breathing becomes more deliberate. She may start to squirm with increasing anticipation, her desire building as you create a rhythm of stimulation that is both tender and deliberate. But don't stop there. Expand your attention to the lower back and hips, areas rich with nerve endings that react powerfully to even the lightest touch. The lower back, in particular, is a place where the body holds tension, but when touched with care, it releases an intense pleasure that can radiate outward. Gently kiss, caress, and explore this area with your fingertips, pressing lightly at first, then gradually deepening the touch as her body begins to surrender to the sensation. The hips, too, are full of sensitivity. Caressing her hips with gentle strokes or light kisses can not only make her feel desired but also help foster a deep connection. These intimate zones, though sometimes overlooked, can completely alter the dynamic of the experience, fostering not only physical arousal but emotional closeness as well. The key here is patience. Patience to allow her body to reveal what it desires. Every woman responds uniquely to different kinds of touch, so it's important to move at a pace that respects her comfort and pleasure. Pay close attention to the signals she gives you. The subtle catch of her breath, the way her body arches in response to your touch, the soft moans she lets slip from her lips. All of these are crucial clues, telling you exactly how to proceed. Some areas may require a lighter, more teasing touch, while others may need firmer pressure. The beauty of this exploration lies in its adaptability. As you feel her body responding to your touch, you can adjust your rhythm and pressure accordingly, creating a personalized experience that brings out the most intense pleasure. If you discover that certain areas trigger a heightened response, don't rush past them. Instead, spend extra time there, building up the sensation with alternating movements. Kisses can be soft and lingering, while caresses can be deep and purposeful. Gently experiment with adding a light bite, a playful, tender nibble, if she seems to enjoy the sensation. This is not a time to be hasty. It is about nourishing the connection and deepening the intimacy with every new sensation. But the exploration doesn't stop at just touch and kisses. You can intensify the sensory experience by incorporating other forms of stimulation that engage different senses and create a truly multisensory encounter. Introduce different textures, like the soft stroke of a feather gliding over her skin. The delicate sensation can be both surprising and electrifying, heightening the anticipation of every following touch. Alternatively, you could kiss her deeply and then breathe a warm breath across her skin. This contrast of heat and coolness can increase sensitivity, creating a ripple effect of pleasure that spans her entire body. Perhaps consider temperature play. using cool objects like an ice cube followed by the heat of your lips. This can bring her to the edge of her senses, creating a whirlwind of conflicting yet stimulating sensations. Moreover, take your time with each step. Don't rush through the experience, but instead, savor every touch, every kiss, every breath. Allow each new sensation to unfold naturally, giving her space to adjust and fully appreciate the pleasure you're offering. When you move slowly and deliberately, you enable her to feel completely present in the moment, free from distractions, fully immersed in the pleasure you're both creating. The slow and patient pace you adopt will increase her arousal gradually, preparing her for a deeper, more satisfying release. Each part of her body, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, will have been cherished and explored in full, leading her to a state of heightened anticipation. As the pleasure builds, you will both reach a crescendo that feels not just physical, but emotional as well, deepening your connection and ensuring that the climax is not just an isolated moment, but the culmination of a beautifully orchestrated symphony of sensual touch and emotional intimacy. In the end, this exploration is about more than just physical pleasure. It's a celebration of intimacy, trust, and connection, a chance to truly know each other in the most profound, vulnerable ways. And by engaging in this tender, patient exploration, you're not just enhancing the experience of pleasure, but also the emotional bond between you, which will resonate long after the encounter has ended. The fifth tip is communication and feedback during sexual activity. However, this communication is not just about spoken words. It's about a level of understanding that transcends language itself, creating an emotional and physical connection that feels both electric and intimate. It's about tuning into the delicate, often unspoken signals your partner sends, the ones that speak volumes without ever needing to be said aloud. When you become attuned to your partner's subtle cues, you unlock a whole new dimension of intimacy, one where every touch, every glance, every movement, and every breath carries meaning and purpose. What's essential in these moments is the ability to interpret the myriad of non-verbal signals that your partner provides. These cues are like a personal language only the two of you can understand, and they convey feelings, desires, and needs in a way that words alone cannot. A change in her breathing, a sudden softening or deepening of her breath, can reveal the depth of her pleasure or indicate the need for a shift in direction. The way her body moves, how she adjusts herself in your embrace, or even how she positions her hands can provide you with insight into what's making her feel truly connected and what may need a gentle change. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Similarly, her facial expressions, so often an honest reflection of her inner world, can communicate her emotions more powerfully than any conversation ever could. The flicker of her eyes, the tightening of her lips, the arch of her brow, all these small but significant movements can tell you what's working and what may require a shift in approach, ensuring that each moment is as perfect as possible. It is in responding to these signs with a deep sensitivity and awareness that the magic of intimacy truly unfolds. This delicate attunement to her body and emotions allows you to meet her needs almost instinctively, creating a space where both of you can lose yourselves in the fluid rhythm of shared pleasure. The ability to adjust immediately and fluidly to her needs, to be responsive, to be connected, ensures that the moment never becomes static or detached but remains alive, growing, and constantly evolving. Each touch, each movement becomes an expression of mutual understanding, a dance between two souls, where you are both not just participants but co-creators of an experience that is unique to the two of you. This level of attention to detail is not just about physical pleasure. It's about nurturing a deeper emotional bond that builds with every exchange, every response, and every intimate gesture. As you become more attuned to her needs, and as she becomes more attuned to yours, the intimacy between you both flourishes, creating a space where both partners feel completely seen, heard, and valued. When you respond with care, with consideration, and with the sensitivity to her unspoken signals, you deepen the emotional connection that binds you together, allowing you to both experience the moment fully and without reservation. In this space, there is no rush, no pressure. Just the simple, profound joy of being present with one another, listening, responding, and allowing the moment to flow as it was always meant to. This, after all, is the essence of true intimacy. not just the physical connection, but the emotional resonance that comes from being deeply attuned to one another's needs, desires, and most intimate expressions. And when you embrace this, every intimate moment becomes not just an experience. It becomes a beautiful, shared journey, one that is ever-evolving and ever more fulfilling with each passing second. As we reflect on everything we've explored today, I hope you've gained some valuable insights into how communication, sensitivity, and understanding play a pivotal role in enhancing intimacy and deepening emotional connections in your relationships. It's not just about physical closeness. It's about being present, tuned into each other's needs, and creating a space where both partners can feel truly heard and seen. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that really stood out to you? How will you bring this into your own life and relationships moving forward? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reflections. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please take a moment to leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Together, we can continue to build stronger, more meaningful connections. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.